Hi, well, my name's Dan Shepherd. I'm the creator of this thing called AR Art Portal, which I'm working on anyway. The idea is a kind of virtual reality app where people can add their artworks and sell them, or just show them if they don't want to sell them. So I'll show you a little video here of roughly what the app looks like at the moment anyway. So you can see it's jittering a little bit. I think it's because the sky isn't a very good landmark for augmented reality to sort of be able to recognise where it is. So you might find it better indoors, but there's a bit more space outside. So as you can see here, you can walk around and point at a picture, and then when it's highlighted with the name of it underneath, if you click the screen, it will bring it up, and you can look at more details. You can also sort of change which picture you're looking at. So here I've got two portals with the same artist, who happens to be my father, Phil Shepherd here. Yeah, so that's the kind of idea of what the app will look like. There's obviously a bit more work to do. And this website here is where you can sort of add your work up. So the first thing to do then is to sign up. So I'm going to use my iCloud address. Sign up there. Next, you need to verify your email address. I've got a notification saying that I've new users added to Slack, because I've got a sort of a Slack channel that allows me so I can communicate directly with you when you sign up. And just so that I know when people are joining. So here we are. There's the verification link. So if I click this one, you can see now my email's been verified. So it should now be, it's ready to go. But you can either sign in, but I think if you just refresh, it will know that you've signed in here. And here it says "Welcome, Dan Shepherd." So that's another clue. And the menus will also be different. You'll have a few more options, like these add artists, add artwork, add AR portal, and go live, all kind of links only if you're signed in. So if you only see 3 things on here, or a few things and not these ones, you're not signed in, or if you don't see your name here. Right. So the first stage then is to add artists. So you could be the artist yourself, in which case you just use your own name here. Or you might be a dealer, or someone who just has other people's art that you want to sell or something, or just show. Picasso. So I'm just going to have, probably can't even spell his name right. I don't know how many S's or C's he has. But anyway, there we go. That's Pablo Picasso. The email address would normally be just the one you signed in with. So if someone tries to contact you, it will come into this email address. But if you're adding more than one artist and you want to go directly to them, you can add their email address in there if you like. With permission, obviously. They might not want emails. The next thing is we add the country. So Spanish. He's from, I don't know, somewhere. I'm just going to say Barcelona. I'm not sure where he's from. And then the next thing then is to add a profile picture. So we've got this one I downloaded off the internet. Okay. And then a little bit about him. So So that's some info about Picasso. Let's make him a capital P at least, and then just maybe write quite a bit there if you obviously that'll be the profile for the artist here. So hit add, and then you can see here on the side we've got Picasso added. If you're on a mobile device and the screen's narrow out, it sort of adjusts it so that it puts it above instead of side by side there. So you should be able to add things on your iPhone or whatever mobile you have. Next stage then is to add artwork. So it's a kind of similar looking form here. First you select the artist. Here there's only one because we just added one artist. And then you'd get your pictures. Did I close it? There it is. So let's put this one in. It's called Amuse. And here you want to also set the size because basically it's going to be a square, otherwise of 100 centimeters square. So you can sort of adjust the size how you want it. So it's kind of like wider than it is high. So I'm just going to make it 100 centimeters by 70. If you know the actual size, that's obviously better. But it's quite important to get a sort of reasonable idea, what the size is, because when it goes on the portal wall, it's going to be that size. It's going to translate to the actual size of the painting. And so when you're placing paintings around as well, you want them to sort of be kind of reasonably accurate size, just so when people are viewing them, it looks right. And here you can select the medium. So here I'm just going to select an oil color. There's other options. You could add photos or prints or etchings or different things. So often, when you look at paintings, it says oil on canvas or watercolor on paper or something. So basically, here I've put medium is the first thing, and it will say on. So this will be like on paper, canvas, metal, perspex. I mean, I'm sure there are more combinations of different kinds of materials and mediums that people use, but I'm just going to stick with oil on canvas here, and hopefully that I'll expand this list as I kind of, people say, hey, I can't add my work because I can't describe it. So the next thing here is description tags. So you could say it's it's an abstract. It's Amuse. So just call it Amuse. So these will be search tags that help people find it. I mean, it uses some of the existing things like artist and title already, so you're kind of duplicating stuff unnecessarily here. But if you want to sort of describe your work and you want it to come up in searches, then that's like a tags, much like you have on Twitter and other things. And then here you can say if it's for sale or not. So if I say you click on yes, it will ask me for a price, and then you can also select a currency. And in this case, I'm going to say no. But the thing there is that this app will not ask for any subscriptions, so it will handle the actual purchasing or delivery. So it's really between you and the buyer. So whatever price here, you'll get the full amount, unless it's going via a dealer. So say I was a dealer and I was adding other people's artwork, they might choose that they want to take a commission, and they would people would contact them instead of the artist. But there we go. Add that up. The next thing is let's just add more artworks because it's a bit boring just having one. So I'm just going to do a few more. Let's put green hat in there. I think it's a bit longer than it is wide, so let's just say it's probably a smaller painting. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Let's say it's only 80 wide, or maybe 60 wide and 80 high. So it's kind of the right aspect ratio, at least, even if you don't know what the size is. And just put some tags in. Is it for sale? No. Add that up. So there we've got a couple. Let's do another one. That's a weeping woman. You see it's come up because I've added it before. It's remembered I've done it before. On other tests, let's say this one's quite small, it's kind of 80, something like that. I actually think it's probably supposed to be longer than it is wide. So let's put 70 there. It's about right. That one up. So here we have 3 so far. That will do for this demo, but normally you'd probably want more than that because remember you've got 4 walls to cover. Yeah, so the portal really is just a single portal. Is just one room with 4 walls on it. There's no kind of intricate things with separating panels and lots of rooms to walk through or anything elaborate. Basically, you kind of it's a sort of 5 meter square room, sort of 4 meters high and 5 meters width, and you can kind of walk around within that room and then just select different portals to view different people's work. So the left wall here, just say which pictures you want on that. So you just kind of click pictures and they'll go up there. If you change your mind, you can delete them like that. Or if you want to change the order, it always goes from left to right as you add them, sort of thing. So that'll be the left wall, and then the front wall. Let's just have that one up, and then the right wall. Well, we're repeating the same paintings, but it's just for a demo. And then the back wall, you can have sort of 2 paintings on there if you want, assuming they fit the width. You can't do more than 2 at the moment on this unit. Just puts tries to fit the first one in this side and the second one on this side, and that's the door. And there's no way of adjusting height. It just kind of puts it roughly in the middle, and hopefully that's how tall people are and looks alright. So then we have Pablo Picasso, that's the artist. So you can also do mixed portals. So if you had more than one artist here, you could have a room with more than one artist's work in it by just changing that and then dragging different ones up. So let's say paintings by Pablo Picasso. We've already done that one. You could, if you had more than one portal, you might label them, paintings by Picasso 1, 2, 3 or something. There we go. Add that up, and there you can see this gives you a kind of summary of what's on each wall, and that's kind of how it will appear in when you go into the AR app. But before, so that's sort of added a portal. But before you can see it in the app, you have to first go live. So the next option here is go live. So at the moment I've disabled this feature because I'm still working on subscriptions and so on. The idea will be that I won't take any commission on any sales. That's all just done direct between you and the buyer. But I'll ask for a small commission monthly just to kind of pay for the cost of running the servers and development and so on. So there's kind of the idea is to kind of charge a little bit from lots of people rather than taking a big chunk of people's money when they sell a painting, which I think is more fair and it's kind of mutually beneficial for everyone really. Assuming I have enough people on the site and it pays the cost of hosting and data usage and all these kind of things. So at the moment, as I'm developing, I'm going to make it free for the initial users, just because I need to have some artwork up there, and so I'm going to just make I've got a notion of a VIP member essentially, but it doesn't sign you up automatically as a VIP member. I have to approve that on the back side. So I'm just going to stop the video there for a sec and do that so that I can show you the next stage. Welcome back. I'm just now going to show you the last bit, which is, so assuming you're a VIP user, so I would have set you as a VIP user then, and you've created a portal. You can see here the paintings by Pablo Picasso. There's a little switch, so you just do that, and when you do that it will go live. That sort of makes it visible within the app as soon as you hit update, that is. So hit update. I should probably notify your thing's been updated or something. But obviously I'm still working on this particular section. And they'll, for instance, depending on your subscription, if you're a subscribed user, this would also be where you would subscribe and add all your details and so on before coming to this page. And there may be a sort of a limit to how many portals you can have active at once. So you know that the cheapest one would be like £2 a month, and you could have, say, one portal, but if you want two, it might be just £3 or something. So there'll be kind of like a scale depending on how much your stuff you want simultaneously visible. I mean, if there's more than, say, if you've got 10, but you're only allowed to have 5 visible at a time, you can still add all 10 and change them around when you want. So this will be where you update and sort of select when you want which one's visible when, so on. And all those changes should be then reflected in the app. So that's it. And basically at the end of it, you'll have much as I've added my father's paintings here, and with 2 portals. You'll also be able to see your paintings here, and people will be able to contact you to buy them if they want to buy them, or just to say they like them. I don't know, I may add some rating things and stuff, I don't know. I'll probably just keep it fairly simple at the moment, because it's a minimum viable product, or whatever they call it. It's just to get it out the door, get something going, and see how things go over time. Anyway, I hope you like the idea and would like to be on this thing, and please do add your work. It's going to be free for a while, because I'm still building things, and I want to have a fairly reasonable number of varied artworks up there, So yeah, add it for free while you can. Basically, is my suggestion there. And hopefully that will be popular. And obviously it's not going to be the same thing as having an exhibition, and but it's a slightly more interesting approach than just a flat website. And AR is quite popular at the moment. I think the reach might be quite good if it's on an iPhone. I mean, I'm working on the iPhone at the moment. I'm not planning on doing Android immediately, but I may do it later. I mean, I have written some Android code, so I can probably figure it out. But my main thing is iPhone, so I'm sort of using that first. Anyway, that's it. Thanks a lot.